Every week, Lone Star Conference football is its own saga.
Are you the hunter or the hunted?
The bug or the windshield?
Don't slip up. You can't take a week off.
We play 7 regular season games.
But that's just the beginning.
In November, the conference playoffs will settle the score.
You want to be the champion?
Prove it.
Who will be the last team standing?
Conference playoffs. We're the one.
Hello and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central presented by the Javelina Broadcast Network. I am James Espinosa alongside defensive line coach Zane Brown. Zane, it's great to have you on this morning. As always, we're quite familiar with each other, but this is your first time on the set this year, so it's great to have you on. A lot of Javelina fans, Zane, they know you from your playing days here. They know the stellar career that you had with your time with the Javelinas. What's the one thing that you miss the most about your playing career with this Javelina program?
Just the game day. I mean, nothing beats game day at Javelina Stadium and the tailgate, the fans. I mean, they're second to none. You go anywhere else, you don't see that. So definitely game day atmosphere is the best thing that, we had going here. And then just the camaraderie with your teammates. A lot of people don't see what goes on behind the scenes every day at practice in the locker room. So, you kind of miss those things when you go on and stop playing.
Definitely so. I can only imagine how that feels to be a former player, but also, I mean, pretty interesting story with yourself. You're now graduate assistant defensive line coach. Could you tell us how that opportunity came about?
Just after I was done playing, Coach Cal, he told me, if nothing happened with football, he would love for me to come coach with him. So, I went and trained and got ready for pro day and had some CFL tryouts, a couple NFL tryouts, and some of those things went well, but didn't get any phone calls back. And then about midsummer, Coach Cal contacted me and told me he had an opening and, said, want to come coach with me. So I said, yeah, I'll take it, and here I am. Yeah,
I mean, when you have an opportunity like that, you got to just take it and run with it, especially whenever a guy like Coach Calloway comes calling. This leads up to my next question. What did that mean to you to hear from Coach Calloway, especially, he was your defensive coordinator for 3 years and then your head coach your final season. Just what did that mean, getting the call from Coach Calloway?
Oh, man, it was amazing. It just meant that, you did something to impress him while you played. He saw that you could be a good coach and that you picked up things very well and that you were, a good student of the game. So that just meant a lot for him to give me a call and ask for me to come coach with him because, he's one of the best defensive minds around in the country as far as Division II goes. So, it's just a blessing and an honor to get the chance to learn from him and coach with him.
Definitely so. Coach Cal has had a history of having some top defenses throughout his coaching career, and he must have saw something in you in your playing career and just the kind of hustle and the kind of ability you have, the kind of football mind you have to want you on the staff. Zane, could you talk about the transition from being a former player to now being a graduate assistant coach? How has that gone for you so far, and what's probably the hardest thing you've had to learn being a coach?
Football's still football, but it's a little different. You got to put in more hours. There's a lot more hours than the player. Players, you just come up for the meetings, practice, and that's it. Coach, you got to, sit there, make the scout report, cut video up, break down film. There's a lot of tedious things that you don't see that we have to do. So, that's probably the one thing that's been different, just the change of hours and amount of time you got to spend up here, but I'm loving it.
I'm pretty sure you're up here a lot more earlier than what you were with the player. I know the players get in pretty early for practices, but the coaching staff probably has to be in a little bit earlier than that.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, right, the kind of hours.
About 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That's a bright early wake-up call for anybody out there, no matter what profession you're in. We're going to kick it to a commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to dive into some Eastern New Mexico talk. There is a big game tonight, people, 7 o'clock here at Javelina Stadium. So make sure you tune into this next segment. This is the Javelina Broadcast Network, Pepsi Tailgate Central.
Every week, Lone Star Conference football is its own saga.
Are you the hunter or the hunted?
The bug or the windshield?
Don't slip up. You can't take a week off.
We play 7 regular season games.
But that's just the beginning.
In November, the conference playoffs will settle the score.
You want to be the champion?
Prove it.
Who will be the last team standing?
Conference playoffs. We're the one.
Blender, pa los que saben. Pronto Insurance, auto insurance pa los que saben. Stop by for a free quote starting at $29 per month. Silverware, pa los que saben. Pronto Insurance, auto insurance pa los que saben. Stop by for a free quote starting at $29 per month.
Hi, I'm Kristen Walters, and I'm a student athlete at Eastern New Mexico University. I'm standing with some other great athletes from the Lone Star Conference, and we're talking about respect. When you're at our games, we encourage enthusiastic support of your team, but we also ask that you support the entire conference by treating all fans, officials, coaches, and student athletes with respect. We're all in this together, the Lone Star Conference. We're the one.
Hello and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I am James Espinosa alongside defensive line coach Zane Brown. Zane, you mentioned that you had some tryouts and stuff in this past off season. You're obviously coaching now, but do you still have aspirations to play down the line?
Yeah, I mean, I still want to try to give it a shot, give it one more chance, see if I can make it, see if something can happen, in the spring. See if I get a chance to play at that next level, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely so. I want to wish you luck on that journey and also throughout your coaching career because it's young and it's just started, so definitely that. Let's talk about the defense a little bit, Zane. What does a player like a Henry Greathouse bring to the table, and also a young player like Braden Robinson? I know he's kind of stepped up the past couple of weeks. He led the team in tackles for loss last weekend against McMurray. Just if you could talk about Greathouse and what he means, and also the up-and-comer Braden.
I mean, both guys are excellent players. They, they come to work every day. They bring their best effort every day. They try to lead by example on the field. Henry's a senior. He's been here for a while. He knows our scheme. He knows what we look for and what we want out of players. So he definitely brings a lot of leadership qualities, and by doing things right and showing the younger guys how it's supposed to go. And Robinson, he just, he's a hard worker. He's got some talent. He's quick off the ball. Has a good first step. So, he's just scratching the surface of what he can do. So he's just, continuing to get better each and every day, and he should have a fine career himself. Definitely.
So he's definitely off to a pretty fast start here. I mean, I know this is only going to be week 5 of the season, so we're pretty much at the halfway point. And he's had himself quite a couple of ball games. Henry as well, he's doing quite well for himself. Do you find it interesting now that you are coaching up guys that you once lined up alongside with? And if so, how do you think the guys have taken to your coaching?
I don't think it's any different. I mean, they all respected me, and they all, listened to everything that I had to teach them and tell them while I was playing still too. So they bought into what I was doing and the things that I was trying to help them with. So it's still the same as being a coach. Still trying to teach them technique and things like that.
Alrighty, and you mentioned technique. What does it take to be a solid defensive lineman, whether you're pass rushing or whether you're defending the run? What kind of technique, what kind of skills does that take?
Oh man, the most important thing is to play with your hands. You gotta have good hands. That's the number one thing. Helps you get off blocks. Helps you get around the man. Is having great hands, knowing where to place them, knowing how to use them, and having a great first step off the ball and getting past that defender.
Definitely. Zane, we mentioned Braden Robinson. Who are some of the other young guys out there that might not have been in the papers too much, but they're still making noise in practice?
I mean, there's a lot of young guys that are out there busting their butts every day at practice, and bringing quality work to the table. So they just need to continue to keep working hard and keep pushing, and when the spring comes around, they'll get their chance to really get into the scheme and get into the flow of things.
Definitely. So always an opportunity to work their way into the lineup. Looking at Eastern New Mexico, Zane, we know that they're a triple option team. Just what's something that y'all are going to have to do to contain that rushing attack?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be very important that everybody plays, assignment football, being the right gap at the right time, doing the right assignments. It's imperative. Teams like that want to get you get you out of your way trying to do someone else's job, and then that's when they find the holes and the creases. So, you know, you got to attack the dive first, then the quarterback, then the pitch, and get them into, you know, situations that they're not used to, and make them have to do things that they don't want to do.
Yeah, definitely so. When we come back, we're going to kick it to our last commercial break. We're going to have final thoughts from defensive line coach Zane Brown. This is the Pepsi Tailgate Central, presented by the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Every week, Lone Star Conference football is its own saga.
Are you the hunter or the hunted?
The bug or the windshield.
Don't slip up. You can't take a week off.
We play 7 regular season games.
But that's just the beginning.
In November, the conference playoffs will settle the score.
You want to be the champion?
Prove it.
Who will be the last team standing?
Conference playoffs. We're the one.
Blender, pa los que saben. Pronto Insurance, auto insurance pa los que saben. Stop by for a free quote starting at $29 per month. Silverware, pa los que saben. Pronto Insurance, auto insurance pa los que saben. Stop by for a free quote starting at $29 per month.
Hi, I'm Kristen Walters, and I'm a student athlete at Eastern New Mexico University. I'm standing with some other great athletes from the Lone Star Conference, and we're talking about respect. When you're at our games, we encourage enthusiastic support of your team, but we also ask that you support the entire conference by treating all fans, officials, coaches, and student athletes with respect. We're all in this together, the Lone Star Conference. We're the one.
Hello and welcome back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm James Espinosa alongside defensive line coach Zane Brown. Zane, it's been a pleasure having you on this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate the insight as always into the program, something that the viewer doesn't get to hear every day, so I'm pretty sure they appreciate that as well. Any final thoughts about tonight's game, Zane?
Just, you know, come out, support the team. We're going to go out there, put in a great effort. Defensively, offensively, and special teams are going to come out there and show what we've been working on, been practicing hard, so I think we're ready for this one.
All righty, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to the game tonight, and I want to thank you once again for joining us on the set. Hopefully we could have you on some other time.
Problem. Thanks for having me.
Make sure y'all guys tune in at 12 noon for Hava Bite with Dash. That is it for my segment. Thanks for tuning in to the Javelina Pepsi Tailgate Central by the Javelina Broadcast Network.
Texas A&M University. Texas A&M University Kingsville thanks you for watching this special presentation of student-directed and produced media by the Javelina Broadcast Network.